2. Go.
Okay. Good evening, listeners, and also those of you in the studio. I'm sure Jumedia Ibabedi, Dr. Aprakunti Neyoha. Now, we are going to mix our language, which is Ghana, Tamayo Ghana, you can be said tree brofo. Into your country near the brofo Afra. Na ama ubia any common person be able to me ati asema yekokano. I may say Dr. Enyama studio, but oba yebeka no na waboy. Yeah. Swami
Doctor is coming.
Oba.
Doctor is coming.
Yeah, okay. Now, as I say on studio, no, me, your friend George Brobe, me a member of the Council of Elders, or NPP Belgium. Jumedie aye me na me moderate Jumedie no, making sure say ubia enya ne chefa. Your production team, which is being led by Samuel Esuman. Ono so na be boy ama Jumedie no akoso technical works no. Asana yesan wo ye timekeeper Samuel Boatin. Ono so emre no cut too much obe allow nature say wohu ekwan obefa so a obejai ana say obetie you know. Nti say Jumadi a yeba be di Dr. Prekunti na ye ha na doctor ye obi a emre etwamu ye ne Mr. Keja Kwabena Keja Ajimai ofi Germany yeneni di dwumadie e wo studio ha no wa di dwumabi a e fata ese emaye ama Dr. Apraku hu ansem apie enunti ena enedue yafre Dr. Apraku se yenini ba be di sa dwumadie na Kwame free studio no so I'm sure Kwame ko anyway say Yahu say Kwame communication director of Dr. Apraku Abba Studio. Now I'm say wayem kakra. Now what we will do is we will continue doing our work. You remember Mr. Keja, so Kwame ni wa you remember Mr. Keja akasa because Dr. Apraku Juma die na yedi. Nti be mo no kwa akasa ko ma bra Kwame beba nti se Kwame ba na ya ma Kwame so akyerɛkyerɛ yemu ne dwumadie ani ade a oba beye e de aboa ama Dr. Apraku dwumadie ono ye beye no ebekoyie nti se ma no besi kakra na ma twɛn ko bra ba Kwame beba ti Dr. Mr. Komna Keja Dr. Apraku one hwan kam bi kyerɛ Bacho bio
Emse yakasa bebre na yewo mu ni se kakum ejini koku anum nti sese no mekase mesan akoka bibia minimum de aspirants na omo ho no nipa 10 ni nyina no minimum wo mu nyina Mr. Brobe George unim se ekuo no de edi akyereche many first person diaspora branch metibia Mr. Dambotwe bibia no and the rest of the world no omutimi aba forward satam no Rollins ntine nipa bebre siro nti no mo nanti ache free sebe adubo ahempen so na menye frontman but ko 4 penso de enibadwuma yeye nti Ghana so no ba bie duro no emse ye nyina na ye concern ni se ya ba no aye adwuma pa enso so enipa bebre hu adwuma na aban na ye esan se eniema nkitinkiti bi a ekoso wo sebe aban no mu a bia yentumi nka ni wo platform bi so ene obi ka hyere me se the oprapra border so kra no ye ko ni dem sike egu honi na wo maka. In fact,
Mr. Keja, I'm on West Yakakra. Who said, Kwame Aba? Kwame, so be a microphone now. A Drew Hose, only a Bakasa. Na Adikuntia Oba studio, ne Jumedia, only a Babedino. Obechechim Kakra, Amobia at na Yahweh a pine befaswa, the need doctor Bayajuma. She say, can be trained, Kwame.
Yo, medasi. Asama na me can say, they said the Mr. Kaji Kano. NPP aban by 2017. Juma de abana yebipa. Nanso your second term no more din from 2021 abisi Samri. From 2017 and first term na near the free SHS by 300 over 300 ambulances. Agenda 111 about 60 at the various stages of completion. We have built about 125 what do you call it factories, small factories in the districts almost a year. Now so with the second term I ding starting from COVID time you're starting economic problems. Now say bet me up build it on from where Nanado AJ or next year. Dear Encrofor, our Ghana, yeah, Kenyan, say, I see a new face. I said, we won't find a home angular abayim because it's a second term in there. Either we like it or not, he said, Mr. Kajekano. A quay be or among the credibility of MPP no is being questioned. Yes, sorry, I say, well, men and women. Where are the men? Where are the women? Now, you know, any pattern I'm gonna put you on foot forward that yeah, ba contest mu akomino. Ushemua miensa pe ena ban one way the other money aban in your juma. Ba ko di kan ye Kwabena Japan, former General Secretary, you are Denimu, and then you are Dr. Apraku. And you know the consensus now no yaba shanty region canina. Some more can say they are looking for somebody where fresh face I won't find one because Abani will be ordinary room no have question marks. Or more Makano or Munina Jogati is second term now. Alan the Nanu Yano resign, and we have His Excellency Vice President. Or no crowd is a Gruma and the Ubunidia Nakaka BBO. And me the mammy could join Dr. Apraku. I've worked in the North as a director of research and elections. I've been a treasurer for a Tamale Central and a whole lot of things. But I joined Dr. Apraku because of the convention. And he say, the convention, and he say, baby, I do ye NDC for our national chairman Catcher said this election, which is next year, is going to fight on the economic front. And I quite remember Jerry Rawlings stated that as Dr. Apraku solely brought his government to an end because of the economic alternative policies he was preparing when they were in the opposition. I quite remember this. That was around 2001, 2002 when he left office. He went to voter radio and was talking to people. Jerry Rawlings mentioned this. Dr. Apraku mentioned, I think first time I heard him was around 93, 94. I was saying, the economy near Umono. If Ghana want to move forward, we have to change that. The economy near there. Say, Tom, if I no money, I quack or ton of money, I am far, now, the man would do Dr. Apraku said, where economists or science finance person. The theories are preparing America for crowd what do you call it? Editorial there universities, you know. The first book for instance, the African migrants in the United States, the message link in African development. I am a professor Dubois who book no Dr. Apraku by him. That energy, that enthusiasm, no, Papa no. Apart from that training, you know, the experience he has had from 1992 today. There's no major institution where we are here. I will deal with finance and economics. Dr. Apraku Juma from IMF, World Bank, African Development Bank, European Union, European Commission, UN, UNDP, and then recently ECOWAS as a commissioner for macroeconomics and then research. He was still also a consultant for West Africa Bank for Investment and Development. And he has had a chance. The last job, he was moderator of ECOWAS. Every advice he gave to this government, but I don't know, be it or not be in it, no, they did not take. My phone call for because my battery is down. I didn't know that my power bank is so much charge. So me this shame so much. So if it truncates, you forgive me. And to me convince in baby Ghana Fonso, Dr. Apraku, from what he has done over the years, from Trade Ministry to NAPAD. If I start telling you what he did under President Kufuor, under President Kufuor, fair HIPIC initiative by your access here, Marco 4 years successful. Dr. Apraku ne first statement at World Bank in the IMF. Because President Kufuor and Soman or Neko Branda Akon and Udu side, then the party chairman. They went and made first HIPIC statement. And the HIPIC for no crab Ghana. Dr. Apraku have a picture with them in IEC in FCCR. Secondly, tallow oil and also President Kufuor and Soman on the same Kwabanda according to those size. On the year, a common statement, Texas, Houston, Emma tallow oil buyer, Timunya oil Ghana. Agua, African Crew for an Opportunity Act, what they buy in the Fourth Republic, there's no trade minister, waba, the exports, excellent Dr. Apraku. At the turn of Dr. Apraku, trade minister, no, Ghana was growing at 20% per annum in exports. Yeah, no, Agua, no, non-traditional export, no, Emma and Cranfo seen in Kruma. And then something, I've forgotten the Ghana name. Or call NAPAD and Regional Corporation school feeding IAE. At that time, Mrs. Banaman or call school or Netherlands. And then he said Netherlands government have this and they want Ghana to assess. And I only could come for school feeding program by. And the school feeding program, first program was launched in Accra, which was called NAPAD School Feed Program. The minister, sector minister then was Dr. Kofi Kwame Apraku. Because first ministry, you know, a park was in until 4 year reshuffle, no uni free trade more than a question. And these are the few achievements Doctor have done over the years. And if we are going to fight these elections on the economic front, you can never look further than Dr. Apraku. He has seen the dynamics of African politics, European politics, and American politics. And recently with ECOWAS. I'm off.
Kwame Ekwana. I'm sure the camera and call off. I'm saying, I think we've been listening to Kwame, the communication director for Team Apraku, and he's done very well. But I just had a hint to say, Doctor is online, he's listening to us, but his camera is not on. So I will take this opportunity to ask Doctor if he can try and fix his camera, or otherwise let somebody help him fix his camera. Na Omra online. There's also another option. He can go off and then get the link. Na your demand say on from Remuno. Na odiaba. I think say that is what we can do. I just had the information from the production team say Doctor is listening. So now we will see with Peter said Kwame. Kwame was production team. Do you have any highlights to give us on what Kwame was saying? Otherwise, we have to wait. Mr. Keja, can you continue with what you were telling us before Kwame Ebano. Na yenhwe Jumedie no said the ekosu. And yes, idea we will have to ask other candidates to talk to us. Yeah. Mr. Keja, we can hear you. Open your unmute yourself and talk.
They all can. I am say ne can no na am say ko obaswa because me minim say even Croatian after the war no. United Nations. Oh, mani lead team a wo ko restructure wo economy no. Minim say even Ghana politics no kra no impacta waya mayen no. So Ghana politics no even in Ghana even say kra no the current economy after your friend is saying IMF we wama a plan B e dia ma when selfless e dia ma finance minister say baby e wodro no so what be adwuma dia we ne beboa and ansa no oba beko IMF no so no the wakachire no otie ya nka wanko IMF because of insight or African politics, European politics. Now even United Nations kra no omugini tumu pa say baby aga na edro no yenka se candidates a omo hip 10 nyina no omo NPP for they are better than NDC but any other candidate bi akwa joma mabetitia no so oye part of the cabinet to mama obetitia no so inti esi enya wo bia owo insight owo abanum and as a Ghana politics international politics owo insight wo NDC for no nim no omusro no na otimi edi anim se esi apese e break 8 ni dia na momye se ye kwa akoso ahwede a ene ye ne sa gidi se ebeboa ye pa.
Are you good, Mr. Keja? It seems language I will use is here. Yate da everyone. Na emi ya say yenya doctor ehoni hoya nanka yebisa no questions kakra obetumi ede yakọ animu am ye hu adekonti a ese se yeto aba ede ma no oti ase enti ene eyende Kwame so enya de ebeye kwa aka o try to call again on the side say uko offer they will try so be free Kwame ne ahwe ekwan e be fa so a yetumi any doctor edi sa nkota ho no. Otherwise, we will give the permission to some of, if anybody has any contribution or any question on what we are doing today, obey to me, our voice out. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, for the sake of our viewers who are listening to us, and some of them are watching us. We need to tell them something about what is ongoing in political stand away aspirants are away. They say you better cut a little bit of kakra. Now we will come back and then work on doctor's situation. Mr. Sami, do we have to pause and wait for doctor, or we keep going? Otherwise, I can throw questions. We start throwing questions.
Other team members must start your contributions whilst we wait for APRAKU team to take over. Thank you.
We will still have some of you. Doctor, dear, I cannot call doctor because I don't have his line.
Na Mr.
Kwame. I can call Kwame, but I say
but you catch no na on Fred because my phone no na me use no.
Yeah, okay. I will do that.
I think so Kwame said ne battery ne I run it down. Into no you better I think so that is the problem is into Kwame into original. Into I think so doctor to me a person now.
Okay.
Because I think Kwame has run out of
okay. Okay. I'm sure.
Obetimi a friend na mama na me call from am friend.
I think so we are because of me ejuma me
Mr. Kenya, me pacho go off and call doctor. The only problem I want to say, he's in the studio. I can see him in the studio, but because the camera no is not connected, so I can't bring him. And that's all his problem. He's in the studio. Whatever we are saying, he's hearing it, but he's not connected in the studio because the camera is off.
Can he talk?
No, it's not going to work. It cannot be connected.
It's not going to work.
Okay, my main friend now.
Off the friend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. One channel no quite over fast or the be
Okay. Otherwise, no. Some of you
producer, me pacho. Since you say our own, no, whatever we are saying here, he can hear it, you know. Doctor, me pacho. The best way, be a bit me about say pacho restart your phone, no. So yeah, restart your phone, no.
Off.
Okay. In Canada was a catch because not and Kadia, not quite restarting the phone, no. Now fed was a click link and this should be him, and then obey me up wherever. So far, how many viewers?
I see him, sir. Robert, any Kofi and Ohima, but then Ohima do more years and that she can't debate. She has to stay and work with Apraku. Okay, Kofi, Robert, do you have any information for us from your side of your candidate?
Yeah, my information I want from a candidate in say the company there Koye Mayen.
Bonidin, Mpacho Bonidin.
Baumia. Yeah. Dr. Baumia. The campaign no Koye Bibia Danakwem say the project no I mean a cost pepe inti enije abefi na ono sra no wosre se ubia emfa akoma ba ko meta nachi na umedi party nanim na ni so ade hu nyina ni se opeso break 8 no edima NPP nothing more se Baumia say utimi breaking 8 no keke unimu say ubetimi breaking 8 no utimi breaking ma NPP we are di flock ko di besi bia no eno de otiase because waso mahama hwe uni mahama grounds ni weak points eni ni bibia enti no betimi agina so edi aye breaking 8 no na me nuane kasa no na okasem bi eye Apraku nipa no eho no na osi ye hia new face fresh face na ne dey new face say omu nyina candidate 10 ni a omu osi nyina no obie no a onye political figure ewo election muda anase abaye betu mu anase past government bia obia enti enye say Nyese maha nanado abresi unya post ntino o ye fresh face there be 72 ye to abano na wo ho 96 na wo ho 2000 na wo ho na ye MPP ni nko ade a you MPP member and they are ye ka say se ne kra na offer form se wu gina ma MPP a we MPP member we new face. Oh, enti ese ye ma strategy etokwa mu a ye be fa se be break 8 no enu na ehia na me on se begin am kasem wasem bia na pese meka na yenyina I say diaspora for yeshia wa ha ye meeting ni ade omunyina obia say candidate nipa bia ba it seems abanwe wayade na niema bia ekoso no enkoyi ana abanwe wayade niema bia ekoso no enkoyi enti that asem no mubusa no ene asi ahwehwe sa asem ni mu ni etimi kire mu ni ehu kwa solution
Sekrofi, point of correction. Doctor Asem ne show na yeye. Na tama Kwame Kasano. Kwame ka say aban no ayade. No kre eno de said de woka no. Oyade. But emum ye new faces. One can be wrong about aban no. What you say?
Yeah.
See new faces.
Yeah.
I heard me who say, keka wasem ewo, which was nice. But they say, what's that done? Ka ifufro. It be person ujina bibi na ujina na because to Doctor Nipa no Kwame ochire bibi kakra ho say you hear new faces and not presenting in Nipa no say he's one of the new faces. It manenko.
Yeah.
Oni me yadwen.
Me no yadwen pa.
Yeah, manenko.
You na you say aban no ayade. Na we no menka emma timbaumia. Ena menka ma eya menso miama sa we na miama suggesting. Say chipu ina ebeboa. Because party no NPP party no say na yekoyi apraku kra apraku bekwa ka say ye wo men ye bi obe bi beka say wo men but the idea dey ehwamo ni say party na nkasa no it seems say ye jai party ama candidate aya ye elect wo no enti ema the party no the NPP party no anytime bi obebra ye adwuma abani ba adwuma waye no esanse enye party no ene di anim ena oye de o selection ni nipa ono omoye adwuma nti na problem akwakoba enti hono me suggest ni say ese party no empenifo no etimi edi proposals bi ba ebetimi abwa all the candidates no say bia candidate A, so we win election. It doesn't mean that you win election by yourself. You win election on the grounds of the party. And we have some quota via
please, Mr. Kufi, your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Kufi, what about the other candidates? Who can okay, I think I will follow on Robert. Robert, give you my insight a little bit about the NPP party and the government in which we are now. Not even talking about your side of the candidate. How do you see the party and the government working now? Be where you know echo of Kakra.
Mr. Brobe, Sisi no obi aba o say ye pe new face. Obi ni hono mo a ananse awo a obetumi aka kire o say onya ananse ba. We are all NPP ni bi no obetumi exclude ni ho free say or ye new face. Yema obi a nye aware say ye twitwa nam na say ye twitwa na ye cha. At the end of the day, we'll be a fair share. So long as our part and parcel in the union fair share, in TMFA and no entonche, there's no new face. Bia what's our doing? We also know ba now we a member. We a JBL course be a okahobi. But me position and age na yenya ye kotwa ba no. Any enyoma ekoso. Mr. Robert, metimi agina ho aka se ye enipa bi wo no mo ye de omu si ho na se de omu kɔ kan sie we ya dabraka. And I metimi agina ho nipa metimi appoint no first Baumia. The reason why me point out your vice president Baumia as economic leader, if they adeba kuba be ye if you fairly womu pa as a party, and then I'm calling a spade a spade. Say, who ye economist? Na say uba na say okay, you want to create job. You don't allow the existing jobs to go bankruptcy. Yemi Pachen say, shall look at what happened in the area of the banking sector. As an economist, and also you have idea about how banking is. What's now Bank of Ghana as a deputy chair, we say board member of Bank of Ghana. Nasa uba nasa existing running banking sectors it me absorbing about 100,000 people. So ukase because of inconsistency,
Doctor is coming.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, that is nice. I think we'll be very happy if Doctor. Welcome, Doctor. Good evening, Doctor. Yeah, we can see you. Can you hear me? Your micro is out. Can you unmute yourself, please? Can you unmute yourself? The mute. Doctor Network, you know. I'm saying, Sami, can you unmute him? No.
No, he has muted it himself. He need to unmute it himself.
Yeah, I think so. The network so.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's Mr. Keja. Thank you. I think we are getting him.
Hello.
Technical problems in the money basa.
All right, but Robert Intwaso. Sorry.
Yeah, Robert, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Robert, can you go ahead and Osako?
Yeah.
Okay, Kwame is also coming.
Kwame ba.
Robert,
go ahead and talk.
There's a network challenge in Ghana.
Kwame, what do you feel?
Are you with me? Please, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Yes, yes.
Doctor is there.
Yeah, so, okay.
Can I?
Should I go now? Doctor to speak.
Yeah, wait. Okay, I think I've seen Doctor.
I'm very sorry, we having
Doctor,
some challenges.
Yemo Wakwaba. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Doctor?
Okay.
Doctor, can you hear us?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. We have started already. We are almost 45 minutes started. And Kwame was online to explain a lot of things. Now,
yes.
Yeah.
It's not clear. I can't hear you well.
You can't get me well. Okay.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Doctor, for the sake of our listeners, we wanted to give you the flexibility to speak the language you feel flexible communicating with our people. You understand? Even though we are in the diaspora, we have people from all over the world listening to you now. And I can assure you that they are happy to have you. And we want you to be happy with us. Kwame has already introduced you, and we had some few questions, and we wanted you to tell us some of the things we have planned. First of all, you will introduce yourself to the listeners, and then the questions will follow. Then you can explain to us. So the time is yours now, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to interact with you, to hear your views, your concerns, and for me to have the opportunity to tell you what my program will be like should I be selected as a presidential candidate and president in the upcoming elections. So maybe perhaps I should say a little bit about myself. My name is KONADU APRAKU. Like many of you that are in the diaspora, I spent most of my lifetime, or most of the time of my youth, and in fact, latter part of my latter ages in the United States. Went there originally as an exchange student on the American Field Service program. That you go to spend a year in the high school and then go on, supposedly return to your country. I was lucky enough to have stayed there, did a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, taught in 3 universities within that period before finally setting off for Ghana. In the process, I wrote 2 books, and one of the books basically became the basis of my return to Ghana. Those in the 70s, those of you who may well have been overseas, or even if you were in Africa on the continent, those were very difficult period. A lot of embarrassment. Everything you hear about Africa was negative. You see people being lined up and shot and killed by military dictators all over Africa. That was not very good experience, and drove me to write a book that I titled Africa Emigres in the United States, a missing link in Africa's development. My sense at that time, such as I still believe, was that we cannot develop in an environment of instability, military intervention, and dictatorship. That we needed to create an environment that allows individuals to develop their talents, to be able to express their views, and have competition of ideas from which we can select the best ones that will guide our nation. And the dictatorship that was spread all over, and the embarrassing pictures on TV of Ethiopians starving to death, everywhere you turn, there's disaster on the continent. So I wrote this book, and I attributed part of our challenges to lack of democratic accountability, greed that has occupied, taking over when individuals, supposedly calling themselves saviors, become popular, overthrow a government, and over a few weeks, they go back and do worse things than their earlier predecessors. So it is this book that caught the attention of Professor Dubois, then a visiting professor at Cornell University in the United States. He spoke to me about some of the ideas that I've raised to rebuilding our country, and eventually convinced me to come and spend some time in Ghana to see for myself what is going on and how I can join the processes that had then begun to rebuild the country and put it on a new trajectory governed by democratic accountability. I took a leave and I came, and I never went back. So I was there at a very momentous time, very, very risky time for anybody speaking against government, and very risky for those who advocate democracy, accountability at that time. It was the time that Professor Dubois had broken the culture of silence in Ghana. And individuals and groups had started finding their voices and organizing to replace the dictatorship with a civilian government based on democratic accountability and election by the people, voting by the people who are governed. I joined the fray, I joined the group. When they set up a research committee, a purpose was to write a constitution for the party, write a manifesto, select a name, the symbol of the party, the slogan of the party, and everything else to bring into being a new political party. I was very, very delighted to be involved in these processes. So we worked very hard. It was not easy. And eventually, I was as the spokesperson for finance and economics during the period that we were in opposition. And we all worked total commitment to the ideals that we believe will take our country on a different trajectory. And to cut it short, I ended up not coming back to the United States, stayed here, worked to become the spokesperson for the opposition NPP, worked for myself to become a parliamentary candidate and parliament. There for 3 terms, equivalent to 12 years. And I also served as spokesperson in opposition for finance. Eventually, when we were able to win power, was made Minister of Trade and Industries. I overheard my assistant trying to give you a sense of what I achieved. We will spend a lot of time if we were to debate what I achieved during the period. But I believe I demonstrated capacity to understand, capacity to work with people, tolerance, and ability to bring people to achieve goals. So I won't say much about the record, but the record speaks for itself during the period that I was trade minister. We were the first to be given the AGOA status. Those of you from the United States, you may know, African Growth and Opportunities Act, that allow African countries that met specific requirements by the United States to have access to American market without restriction, without quota, without tariff. And therefore, we went to work. We started a program called non-traditional exports during that period that I was trade minister to encourage those, because we came to realize that we have not provided opportunity for our businesses to add value enough to those things that we produce. And that if you look at it seriously, you'll find that some of these non-traditional exports in the final analysis were earning, if not equal, at least, if not more, at least equal to what our traditional cocoa oil, cocoa, bauxite, gold, and all the other natural and mineral resources were bringing to our country. We put a deal of emphasis. We set up the EDIF, Export Development Fund leadership at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, to find Ghanaian businesses that were so disposed, take advantage of AGOA. We made a great progress, and our exports were booming. I went to Libya and Ghana Trade House, our ratios and established Ghana Trade House. I went to the capital of the European Union, Brussels, and negotiated for the first time in our nation history to put a trade officer, commercial officer in our embassy in Brussels. I could not believe that the center of Europe, Brussels, that we did not have a commercial officer even at the embassy to facilitate our export to that country, attract investors into our country. It was a boom. Soon we begin to feel the effect. And we went on like this, trade minister, and also a senior member of the cabinet. Even before I became a trade minister, when we had won office and not even taken office, President Ford approached me and told me he wanted me to go with Mr. Kwabena Daakon and Mr. Odoi Size to the United States to represent him at President Bush's inauguration. But even more important to him was to go and meet some congressmen that he has had relationship with and had agreed that he will make a presentation why Ghana should be able to get the HIPIC resources. And you may all recall that when we won the elections, at that time, the country was practically broke. We were HIPIC, highly indebted, poor country. And U.S. had introduced these HIPIC resources, and it's based on the country's capacity to deliver after presenting a comprehensive program that they will use the resources for. And it's not like the IMF one that you have to pay back. Here, you don't pay back. And therefore, the conditions were tough to ensure that those that are beneficiaries, one, are responsible enough to use the resources, capable enough to manage it, and to achieve the results. I went to the States with them, and I was given the opportunity to make a presentation. I think I made enough impact to convince them to come to Ghana. They did. We held a meeting at Akusumbo. Within the short period, the record time, they had given us, conferred on us, status, degrading that as it might be, but very, very essential to our survival in the early parts of President Kufuor's government. So we came in, and with those resources, President Kufuor stabilized the economy. We all went on to grow and grew better than any other time in our recent history. That was not the end. Later on, President Kufuor again approached me and told me to come to Houston or go to Houston for a oil company meeting. Wanted me to go with Mr. Kwabena Dakon, who is a Ghanaian businessman, well established, extensive contacts with the United States business community and the religious community. And then Dr. Duse, who was Ghana's ambassador, the three of us went. I was asked to make a presentation why Ghana is the best destination for those that are doing exploration for oil. I was trade minister. I wasn't the oil minister for or energy or gas or whatever it is you might call it. But the player had enough confidence in me and my country to deliver, to make a strong case for country. I did. And as my assistant indicated, by God's grace, we did get some benefits coming out. And the first oil company set up in Ghana, and I finished my presentation. Boss came and shook my hand and said, "Very good. We verify if this presentation is really the reality in your country." It was indeed in our country. And the resources that it provided to us, both two major projects that I was involved, the HIPIC one was free, and it allowed us to build tremendous amount of resources into technology development, improving the quality of education. And then I added to that the school feeding program, contact with the Netherlands, that decided to finance the program, the initial program for the first 5 years charged to Ghana. I have made my contribution to Ghana, and I believe in the process I've gained significant experience beyond the academic understanding of finance and economics, teaching in the States for almost 15 years, thereabouts. The exposure with other international major organizations that has given me opportunity to understand how these things work. I feel prepared with particularly where the United Nations sent me to go with our nations and to prepare the nation for the transition from the apartheid regime to an African democratic regime, where their promised to help draw or prepare the economic program a country after the transition. You all know that the election was just for sure going to be won by the significant majority, about 80% of the population, preparing them to be able to run a country, given the experience they have had in the country, total discrimination, no opportunity to be educated or holding a position. So, and I, here we are looking at the economy that did not result in one, and attribution may have helped to build a solid economy that they have. And that was now the end of it. Croatia seceded out of Yugoslavia. United Nations wanted to send some economic engineers go back after a very terrible war to rebuild there as the director in charge of economic reconstruction. And I spent almost 2 years there. The experience I gained are with me. My experience in South Africa, equally. My exposure and contact with international organizations from the World Bank, IMF, United European Union, all that intact. I've developed extensive network because of the work that I did. Therefore, put me in a position that I believe if I were given the opportunity to lead our country today, given the state that we find ourselves, I will be, if anybody has any chance to succeed, I believe I'm the one that I can say without pretension that I will have a chance, a better chance to take our country out of the situation we are. But even my last experience, and why I was not in this government, was that I was appointed as the ECOWAS Commissioner for Macroeconomic Policy in Economic Research for all the job to or document progress that is being made by their respective countries to achieve single currency. And to a single currency, there has to be convergence. The economy must produce outputs, must meet particular economic variables in terms of rate, in terms of deficit, in terms of level of, and so many macro variables must be met. My job was to provide the leadership so we can monitor each country's performance. Every 3 months we go and the progress, the challenges they are having in their respective country, prepare documentation, bring it to the attention of the Minister of Finance and the Governor of the Central Bank, and eventually to the head of state. So I've also had the experience. I know what works and what does not work. We know how to bring economies back, as our president said once, and I believe that economies can be brought back, whereas, as he indicated, human beings cannot be brought back. I have a little experience in trying to bring economies back, and I've had success that I believe gives me the reason to believe that if I were selected as a presidential candidate, eventually please, having qualified from the Special Delegates Conference and go and win the next phase, I think NDC will find it very difficult to defeat me. I worked against the NDC in the past as the opposition spokesperson, and I know how to manage them. And I was in Parliament with them for 12 years. First term as opposition spokesperson. And I think we together, collectively, did an excellent job that prepared the way for us to eventually win the elections. So my sense of it is that our country is facing a very serious situation today. People have asked me whether this situation or natural or whatever it is. The reality is that we have the challenges. And I'm not going to be apportioning blame to anybody. These are the ways of our time. We can't continue on the path that we are on now. We need a change. And I believe I offer the best change for Ghana, and I offer the best change for our party. So I invite you to look at me, look at my experience, any additional information that you may wish to have, and then any other question, any question that you may wish to pose to me. And let me have this conversation with you, because we are together. My commitment is to Ghana. I happen to believe that destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Individual destinies are reflected by the choices we make in our life, and no less different for nations. The choices you and I make, including the decision to select a presidential candidate, will impact significantly on what our future will be. We have placed in your hands a very big responsibility, particularly given the time that we find ourselves. You are the ones that are going to help us elect somebody and go there and win. And win is not the end of the game. Winning and have the capacity, the experience, enlightenment, and the knowledge of the challenges that we face, and having thought through very well and have plans on how to deal with them. So our success as a political party, in part, at least in the first instance, phase, depend on the choices that you make. I believe I represent our chance for our party to win the next election. And I'm inviting you to please look at me seriously, examine me against everybody else, and make the decision. And I believe if you may end up selecting me as our candidate. And when you do, then I wish to invite you to join me. Together, let's work hard to win and to change the narrative for our nation and for the destiny of our country. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You've done so well. Your flow of English reminds me of Dr. Buzia when I was a very young man, when he came to lead the party and also to help us win the 19 was it 69? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that is really nice. But Doctor, you know what? I had an information from the production team that we have about 3,400 people listening, and a lot of them are from Ghana, and a lot in the diaspora. And I'm just hoping that we hear a little bit of your Tree language, so people can hear you well.
Oh, okay.
And yes, so we can have a kind of fun with the language that they understand you very, very well. That's why we are here today. We want to understand you very well. But anyway, we got everything you said, and that's what I'm saying. It goes well. I remember I was a very young man, and I remember Dr. Buzia very well, and you make it clear. Thank you very much. But now there are questions you have to answer us. And from the studio, we are going to give you the first question. The production team will show it on the screen. You can read it very well. And it tells that we want you to tell us your plans on the following: on health issues, youth employment, education, infrastructure, diaspora affairs, agriculture, and sports. Anyway, I have taken the job of somebody else, but next time I will correct that. So as soon as this question goes, we have a sister called Ohima. She will be reading the questions for us. Ohima, you can go over again and read the question properly to Dr. Wade. Give a minute. Ohima is going to read it properly, and then you will get the questions and give us. There are 7 of the questions, and you will give us answers to that. Ohima, go ahead.
Yeah, Doctor, thank you for accepting the invitation. But then these are the questions on board that we want to ask you. And the first question is, can you please tell us plans on the following? Number 1 is health, youth employment, education, infrastructure, diaspora affairs, agriculture, and sports.
Doctor, your time will start now. We feel free and talk to us. Let us feel how good you are in tree, and let us feel how all these questions can enter into our hearts. Thank you so much. The ball is yours.
Madam was Ebia Namam follow order Mokai, but I start out with the health. You see, health there is so fundamental. Health, a idea a sumbo ma or my beer. So what dinner now on qua now what dear said the yen and no catch it. See, oh my you, ye my gun, and I'm not me. More NPP for more more my party nintina more ye win say in the process no ye be you be a obeting share ye manaso. So and yet baby a neighbor be gume party anymore say and I may be criticize it. But I know some most o man who hear mo inti bibia e was ye cano e was ye timi can free her. See, I say busuya and ye drinking your man. Health. A healthy people no and make a healthy nation. Nti here ye pa. See, we share ye challenges kesiye ni say accessibility to health adding to health care adding. Mekai say ye wo opposition in parliament. And a coordinate Adena Foundation, a German foundation, organizes a woman, Omudi call Germany, Kwakusia, Sia, almost Shaya, almost ye fa health insurance. Nay, sad time, no, ya can you oppositions, Debiani, a cassa, ye win, in your tumia. Ye bema health insurance aba. Inti me, Dr. Dokofo and others from opposition, normally call Germany. Sata me call me kushia German branch of NPP. Ye kushia omo. And I remember that distinctly. Ye kushia ekwaya omo faso finance. Ye kushia ekwaya ye train adequate number of health workers. Ni ye kushia what the government and subetimi ayatwa sika German for no de bemaye ti kusua ye buy ye de beto omayanim that time you will position ye ntimi anye ye nya tumi ba bemo no ye say a healthy nation and a bit me I robust enough omo be build a cry ahoto ne anigye ewo mu and yet they buy the major objective say health must be available and open to every Ghanaian regardless of your economic status. So yaria so nya abai emwa esoso na utimi hwe ho ye na eye pa na eye pa ene ekofom kakra se ukwa sebi economy na yedin nti abai resources a would bit media ma wo mo no iwo munya sede ne ye start first na omanu mu ye no ni sika no do so kakra sen ne no ni etimi de ma wo mo na the quality no so eye papa ene akofom eye one na eda mani so in part because me kan ho ene ekofa ade no baaye enti mani di akire se se the dream na enipa nyaa ya ema ye kofa baaye no enka ye koye nim as a nation no se ye better and better. Unfortunately, and yet even good as it was initially, in here me pa, it was said government must contribute a prop of a cost now. Yede echo ya ayaresabia na so kwa ayaresabia sky ye wo ene eniema ekeka ho aduru a was otoni ade no. It was said a country like us sebi ohia wo musa no, that must be of greater priority. Meba him why it was working so na ene intimi work said ye the vision na yenya ya nti yekosua ho ade ba ya so na ye kama kakra ansanen abafo. I think it is not far fetched. See you be who say economy no enye stronger sika ye wono entimi enuru enyema entimi ntua enyema ye pese ye yini nyina ho enti mesiro mani da so mani medidi akire se nyame pa minyatumia the same people omoboaye in the financing ye de bekwa akokire wo progress ayenya the archive was yenya abasu beye na as a matter of priority. We need healthy population, you don't have a nation enti me eno de e ade dikai wo madmo because health is everything. Enyema okaye ebisos waka health nti maka no we see ye youth see ene yasi ayeden economy no mu ayeden economy ni ye den a emrantia ne mabaa no so efili no more than ubia because they may not be employed ebi o yi student omo papa mu ninya so se wono ne papa ni ye ya and wo ye se ne papa na adwuma nye ya is directly impacting on wono ne so inti health no tend to be an issue for a population to say the birth rate no so the cost no so unfortunately no so no enura ye hia say ye de be ma enkrofo no yen in produce most of it we ye mu this year kotofi abonten na diaba. I think it's a emrenadu say yitmi set up production facility for health and many others. And I think since health is such a priority to me, if I had 2 or 3 choices to make in the new expenditures, I think a lot of it I will put in producing a healthy nation. Because when the nation is healthier and your agriculture be your nation is healthier and you be better employment or outlets. And now the other benefits, no, production because will be in here me pa na what can you for you so I think it's something that is almost obvious. Employment. Yes, see, a rising tide, no, it lifts all boats. A rising tide lifts all boats. Since year boat kasiet a pejano and a peja boat kitwa. When the economy is doing well, employment is automatic. Increase in employment, is automatic. When the economy enkuya, employment in anyhow. That is directly linked with the economic policy.
A link an article.
Yeah, me pacho, my question in the hall. My question in the hall. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Mr. Kejamba, you wait in your casa.
Now, Pacho Doctor Akasewi.
But the link an article into no waiting yet take over.
Okay. Some say no waka bebre. Them say waka bebre. Waka nanka. Me say yensa kanu yi de. Senkonu etimi ekan ya. Ohun. Nse waka bebre because ohun sa opportunity we no. Time a yebetimi di access no direct. Na sɛ mo ne mo mpanimfoɔ no ɔmo di mo anim na ɔmo to aba no bi bɛkasa na mo hu sɛ ɔmo no mo na mo to aba ma wɔn mo yi wɔn mo nti sɛ mo so mo wɔ ayi bi wɔ hɔ na sɛ mo so mo antimi ne wɔn mo anka na kyerɛ sɛ because edu aba toɔ so ɔmo bɛsen aba mo wɔn anim nti mo ne mo nkorɔfoɔ no mo chairman ne secretary ne whosoever no mo ne wɔn mo nkasa sɛ ebia wɔn so ebetumi akɔnsida na because sei no tumi no na yɛpɛ sɛ ne nsa betumi aboa na ma ne nsa aka ne tumi no a efi sɛ ɛno bɛboa nti ɛm sɛ obi ɔwɔ ayi so biara.
All right, Sammy, please take over. It seems Mr. Brobe is having some calls.
Well, thank you, Mr. Producer.
I'm saying, they now interrupt your home.
Paper chawing.
Yeah. I think
sɛ deɛ sɛ me nipa no me deɛ me made konti a me di ne ho adanseɛ sɛ mo ka ye ne schedule de kura no nyinaa no ɔsi da bi mo ho hia nti ɛsɛ ɔba na ɔba betie nea mo ka question bebu sɛ no biara no so no me sɛ ɔtumi ayi ano to satisfaction gidi sɛ nyɛ sɛ network yi ɛna sɛ bi a woni no ɛkɔ akyire a kambo hu sɛ yɛka sɛ capability a ɛnyɛ yoyo sɛbi ɛnyɛ do no bɔ ɛna ɛnyɛ yɛpɛwei yɛmpɛwei emu yɛpɛ obi a sɛdeɛ medi kan aka no mesan repeat bio onim NDC onim Ghana onim NPP ɔwɔ international contacts a obetumi move ayi ɔn sɛ obi kɔgyina nipa bi anim a ɔkasa a ɛwɔ sɛ deɛ sika no but ɔno he have gone through all the mails he is tested and he is capable in fact sɛ yɛmu bi as time goes on no ɛyɛ research wɔ no ho a wobɛhu nea wɔbɛtumi ayɛ ɛne deɛ wayɛ da nti sɛ deɛ adesrɛdeɛ naa na yɛde to m'anim sɛ nipa 5 no Omfa ne nka ho ma yen. Na afi yenhwe. Na se nyame boa na so ka 5 no ho afi na afi ye se ya kɔ anim. Ɛhɔ ne nipa behu se Ghana for epena sempa because you see no ono ne campaign no waye ne se nye se ode kwa akuchini ayi donu ayi we internal wrangling. Ukojina abonten na akoka bibia wanhwe na se bio kwano akofuma akoka asem bia ense se yeka. We eye fie ntokwa na ye kon akonwa na aba na fa se ye pere. Nti ono openi se oni individuals no candidates no behia delegates no behia. Oh, to omuhia na se candidate no the delegates no hu se no kre de o kan to o masom no de manoa. Also be prove obi obedi na chi bia no o ma no ni mu ase because we ase de ontuma yefia betimi asi. Udin yefia ontimi nsi. Oh, nti na ya na ye kase bia obi a na ni yedin pa obi a nya se bia corruption ye mfa na fichire. Oh, na bibi to say ne wo sika no say health ahoden wo ho a bibia wo ho. Na say de wo sika no say ensuo epagya kosra enye shi ba kope no de no kosro. Odi shi pompepen akese ne nketwa. This economic ni ya economy ni ya bibia na ye bia no. Ze say ye de ekoso. Na ompenum guase yeso nti no ontena ho ma obi kodidi mu na bodwesem. To say fancy hu president Kofo ne star na ode ewuye no. The shovel we be no free say ya de anim guase ebre no a. The shovel. So as you say me feel say aban was we. We aban. We idea. But the idea say MP4 90 kono ho say finance minister na yenyina wanyini no. Akwa yekutwa oni ho kra no a ye de beka no. Sebi mpeninsi onsom eni nipa. Nti enipa no a wo mo yi won so nipa 90 na ekoye no. So obi anya 10,000 votes kra no a. 900,000. So nipa 900,000 nipa kra 900 the voice of 900,000. Omo kan sam kire wona se wo si hunti a. Tachi bia na beti ho azema free opposition o. Because they say the ye mu na ye kan o eduru ho no mo a jo mama your candidates bi ho beti etia wo mo so te say yi no. Di mesre say ye ba say bio enye oye president anyo ono nko na betimi abuman no party no ntine wo party no ntine friend party we free ha nyina ebe kan adwuna bom na yehu there be obi asese ne mo a obetimi di abo a na yakọ anim nti they say they are the emisal district dey no a na dey to munim say mo ni mo mpanimfo nkasa na monkyerɛ wɔ mo so ebia de waken mo mo ni hu nkomo nye se ebia se bio se bi yenka ne saa but ebia yɛka no ayi se ebia obi se me pesika kotua me school fees nti wa ba ma me bie na meto ama wo dia ɛne se wo na so be di apraku achi a do se nye se bia boa ne de agya kwa nya no kwa na emom anya no nti na emom do obetumi aye nti nti obi wo ho no anu se o ya ma me sei nti ne sei eno no na wo no wo ton man no na wa so da chi wasen akwa akogina ho aka se economy no aye den sei wa bra na nko bi wo ho no mo a ko betumi aye ama ne ema ye party no pagya party na anim am ye de nako ama Ghana akoso so because your company sakasi bebre ya say answer no baba krum abay investment na hwe do di monim if he is known at the international circles na won ba wo mun suro nipa wo yenim no so na sabi o ye kan no nye industries nko a na edi bu o man industries ni ka ho so see no na we are trying for industries but yen share tourism ti betimi ayama Ghana yen share hokra yewo beach bia between Accra to Fancy Cape Coast yen fa nuru hokra na yen full stop betimi consume millions of employees if you honor say your quota crowd so to Axim also betimi consume millions of employees nti yen hwe no wide range. So, and as you see, look at modern economy, no, industries, you know, a very good, but preservation and investment, their friend is inventions. So, until him say, as I'm back where can't man and
Mr. Keja, thank you very much for your contribution. Time and answer. That's very.
It does.
And Mr. Moderator and Pachobeti Matuaso.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Numbers can be, but I think it will be after the show. Yeah, you put everything offer, then I talk to you about something. Yeah, but you can go ahead and talk, Shami.
Mr. Producer, Mr. Bro Baby be and who be more.
That's I will say who will be can.
Darby.
Okay. I don't think Dr. Apraku ne line allow to come back to where we are now. And you know, we will end the show by maybe having a chat. Those of you on the studio to bring your comments on here and there what Doctor was saying. Maybe I'll give an example. He mentioned when he was talking about Tamaoka youth employment, any health, or mention a good thing, say, in case, say, nipa or and out to me, a bibi, at the bois, a chrono. Or some mention, say, economy, no, it's about time, Ghana for no produce one more medication, one more any a day. These are some of the things that he mentioned, which I find very, very interesting. What I say, I throw the whole thing to some of you, not going on negative, but giving a positive impression of what the man said. Now, his program ends properly and very nice. Now, Ansana, you go offline. The time is yours now. I don't have to mention your names here and there. Just show by hand. So you're ready. Now, mama opportunity now. Mr. Robert Ajimandia, you can take the first place. Yeah.
Mr. Brobe, thank you very much. With regards to your papa name, the delivery, I think he gave a good delivery. That means the man has something to offer. So the minimum is you don't have to be involved only to offer suggestions. To me, I think says a penny dia or snow baby idea doesn't mean say with regards or with reference to the delivery, that depicts say or when you might be brave or mine. Is it that our government is not listening? And I say some people, their voices are not being heard in the party. Yes.
Mr. Robert.
Yes, sir.
I want you to be on the side of what you have heard today and not giving a counter. Don't compare his ideas with what government has done. Because already, when he came, he told us to say the government had done well.
What
I say, Debbie,
government president be aba on government vision.
This is the question about Yeah.
Mama Robert Inko continue. I just interrupted with government with the only area of government, Maybe say we find out how you guys felt about what he said, and not going into condemning his idea with government. Maybe I misunderstood you. What I said. You go ahead. Go ahead and do
sorry. Papa no ewo nimdie bebre na what dia two papers so am ye what damedi enti no me pese me hu say anti sa nimdie we ni nyina no is it say ebi o kasa ewa ba ni mu a enkwa na because at the end of the day or your party back. This is my question, which means ya buy no ontiana because se me wonim die na se me dey support ya buy na ma pese buy ne koswa at least ese mami the years and ameboa. This is my question and no end it because se nyoma bebre papa kan ewe senke the year juma at the end of the day I think say anka beboa your party because share and nyoma or di to honoma in terms of apomden said ye or can say ebenya accessibility obia wo krasa bia unya juma na se we se ne ebetimi anya we accessibility na wotimi etimi anya eho etimi atua bi ukwa na nya afa na edu sika koto wono once na ba ya mawo eduro ani we se ne nyina eye nyoma as ye ya ebeboa eti na mibusa asa question say nti say oya bi ye kasa na say our government is not a listening governor na say ontie. Two, ade ba kon kan ya eye me de bibiti say now all my emphasis on health no okay you see nipa da say ni bia wo wiase a wotie wapom de hu hia enti se passen ko be ebe shemu Kenya dia na se de papa yi kan odi be yo se ne dia yo ya at the end of the day obi enu onu mu a obekukuru sika pudo no so de kwakotua ade but there should be a policy be betimi aboa my out no etimi akosi say apodin ma enkoso e Ghana mame it is the papa na me
Mr. Robert, thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Krofi,
yeah.
Mahusa wonsa e wosro anaso bi de ba bi o. Okay. O maso a manenko. The next one will be Lady Ohima.
Yeah, Michia said yeah, Minia Robert Kano. The first menene yadwin. In a sense say Mr. Prekuba in some of the kind to say wabobra, which is wabwa party no wabwa o mine inti oyobia ubilidi NPP a fatano. Now the question na Robert Busan say adena abino untiena na saying the problem MPP yewo eni say sisiano MPP nankasano eya dane tese yewo winners take all say party no a different form resu nyina no say party no omu elect obi na se nipa no eba be fa party no lead no na obe presidential candidate say nipa no esan say ono na ye ko elect no wa be president ya di oba ya no na omu na be like obe select nipa ono omu be yadwuma I think say enu na edi party ni nya kese if say party no system da ho say ebia ya to abawie Mr. Preku na wini enti Mr. Preku wa wini as a presidential candidate ya elected as a president of Ghana no say the offer who want to say ebia 10% of appointees esa we do amuba abani mu ebia ukobo besia bi ukopeska bi obabi ukoye bi obi boa o ne sani amanti ebia 10% na the 90% na aka no eye party no and trance ahwehwɛ individual background said your munim dear tier or munuma yetie near doma beka or honoma ya juma. And no, a bebwa emma party no anytime biano party na ya juma cry yen kase party ni yeshi. And na emkoba say ye point yen koye fingerprint say oh nipa smesi and odin nipa ube appointment to abani mua say nipa smesi kosi ni suni adie. Oh, and honor this and Yamano Eba because the party was structured the Honuma and Mr. Preku and Kaba always the economic team and Kwakamu. You want the Kofobe Broha and Komu sir or more Fiedi and Komu a bandmu a year Juma a bandmu. If you said party no never trans said yet me really power no. And you know. Muma yanya de yen select mena ye wo a wo mu nyina no edi ekoye eba beboa aban no nom de adwuma but ye kan no e bia me fa say Mr. Preku wini ene on the 4th we wini yakwa kotoba 2024 no we wini president no we wini wie ya no na party no eja bibia ma no enti from head to toe on the best select you be would be banner castle on pet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi. Thank you very much for your submission.
Mr. Kofi, while raising very, very good points. I really appreciate that. I'll first, before we go off, me fama hima, no hima so can be being chair, me who send in circles. Jankasa who follow in very well. Remember, kakranes o ma unsa so a. Remember, okwan am also what can be. Yeah.
Me san de mama so dada.
Okay, ma hu intra. It is say one mama who say one mama unsa so until next time afro.
Oma so me the to form.
But so I think say kakra me so mechanic say yensum yeni nipa. And here in Belgium, no, I think so when you follow their political suit or send your more politics air corner, you can see say homogene or mine ho echen dibiano. Ain't no say be a wona wutumi eso akokoti when it to me son and sa when it to me son has send ya na at the end goal no ye pese ye kusa aboa no ain't no mu de omu focus na ne say ye betumi kusa aboa no ain't ni amesre ne se senia ye selecting nipa no anade obe winning ne beba bewi anase ye choose nipa na okọ stand for presidential candidates ne beba no krom ha wo follow mo politics na wo hu say ye via obia ba e de na adwene ne moa ne sika obia de ba e ba beboa esan so nim sese ye den a ye eman no oman na ye ne yiye. So I think this should also be our focus and our dream of heading towards the economy. Say you been a great country and as a great economy. But I think Mr. Dr. Apraku sounded so like to say I've gotten confidence in him, and then what he brought on board, especially hitting on that health sector anyway, you know, it's convincing. And I also go back to ask this question: why are we not bringing him also? Would there say when your president no so benya also nyao yeni na ye pe omani ye. So I think say onya yeni na ebe ye de ye beba be bom ye beboa ama ye man akọ enim ana akoso. But say when ya so I put it to everyone on board and I said all the presidential aspirants they say they should do well and bring him on board. My man and your man woni team no enko waste. Embra nemmeboa online, emboa youth, nemboa obia. Esan say especially when it comes to the youth and the health sector na areho na obia so ayade ba yese de ofru dia pa no na ye pia no nti I hope say yin na yade ye honhom betai obi bi obebechi but onno de so we knew when we knew it was say obemu bi na obeboa. Thank you.
Very good. it seems hearing Dr. Apraku any the Musumo contribution, they testify of his good work. Near there, the Mimiti and me who said the guy has got so much. Sorry, Robert, for interrupting when you were talking. I just wanted to make a correction for everybody, not only you. Or they say, and me who say, these are quality people who need to be in the government. And can you go back to okay, I'm saying you go back to maybe a little bit from the time of Achampon. There was something called union government. And by the so what they say, NPP team up with all these quality people we have now and tap into their brain. There is no government between a BT NPP. What I say, you shouldn't let them go. Your bumpire say you bet me any other candidates to join us. Now afe so live debate to be able to reach our people. We love the NPP party into the way. We are not doing this for our own pleasure, and answer to please anybody. We are doing it because we love the party, and we want to do this to make sure, even after the election, leader, we will still invite them. If he becomes the president, whoever becomes the president, we will still invite them to our live shows so we can enjoy and let our listeners also feel the love of it. I'm saying, your time now soon, Mr. Keja. Okay, maybe I'll give you
Wakasa, Mr. Keja Kasa, 30 minutes. What's up about the preview?
It's your day.
It's your day, Mr. Mama, 1 minute. The mediator, Mr. Brobe, the Okan, you know, say, on say football, no, your positions, into opposition, our bono. Yam for one to ho. So we are striker, now koda a year defenser. Say, untimin perform, papa. Ya no na mpese me kan to so nya se bia
okay
me san ba be kasa bibia se dia wo nyina ye nsem ye pani ye dia mo ma yenu hu ye ne yemfa mu aba
okay because of time I would like to thank all of you, especially our production team leader Sami Esuman,
Mr. Jenkins man is so
any timekeeper.
And Lumba so manless as Lumba.
Pacho me Kasevia, why? Yes, under your timekeeper, Sami Boating. Na yenda Lady Ohima for the good work you've done. Panelists are on board today. Mr. Robert Ajimai, thank you so much. Mr. Keja from Germany, thank you so much. Sir Krufi, thank you. Any mpayinfo amudi echire bae nyina mpo odi asem pa as see our ba man in Saswa time are no.
Time we me platform so that time we me.
Yeah, call offline. After the offline no, you be doing recording no. Na afe ye biatum na have a discussion bia edechiri enti me de manu be si ha me damase
me cheva bro be o ya fake o to dem ayi
because number na
cheva bro be o ya fake to dem ayi
hello me pamcho answer na Mr. Brobe di be wi ne the person today na say and your viewers near 4023 listeners. I think say yakoye nim. People are really listening, and the befa kwenya we swad obi biara say na Mr. K we Mr. Brobe akan Mr. K just you better was because I think say and the why no I fedodo na I will challenge all the aspirants here. Wow, kasama obi biara no say we should be try na oni omu team no so akasa na omu so etimi enyamre. Even if 20 or 30 minutes, I think say it will boost on also chances of winning, you know. Say na you 4,023 viewers, you know. Obi bia betimi TV. We say tell a friend to tell a friend. Ebe boama ebia wonso no watimi afa franka no.
If I may did wait, sorry.
Sami
Butu me.
Sami Manko, Sami Sumaya. Why mute you? Why mute yourself?
Me cry, sir.
I'm saying a time national. And you know, I think say we can hear you, Sami. Yet time no action.
Time is up, please.
Yeah, and
I muted everybody because I wanted to end the live show, please.
Yeah, I think I said
not
it,
intentional,
but you didn't
Thank
go
you.
off. Internet more chance. Why? Did you go off?